hope everybody's doing well. Today in this tutorial we're going to be doing something like a chit chat, get ready with me type of thing. Don't mind my face, I am so sorry, I'm so white. I've got an old tan on the rest of my body and my hands and my face have washed out obviously because they touch water a lot more than the rest of my body. So I'm going to be first moving my hair out of my face. Alright, so we're starting off barefaced. I'm going to start off with my eyes as per usual. I've sort of transitioned to doing my look, a lot like this lately. If you guys have watched the rest of my tutorials, I usually do my looks nowadays with my eyes first. I didn't train that way when I was training with Natalieeryigit Purtis. Yes, I'm just going to start off with my eyes first, and I will be... Give me a second, I'm going to grab my eye primer. So I couldn't find it. But we're going to be going in with my Barry M Unicorn Primer Drops Beauty Elixir, and that's what it looks like. I'll just be dotting this on my finger and then popping it on my eyes because I don't know where my primer is for my eyes. I haven't filmed. What is this? Oh my god. Okay, I'm so sorry if you guys had seen that in the beginning of the tutorial. Well, it's gone. Oh, there's more. What the hell? So the consistency of this one is thick. You know what? We'll just go ahead and prime our whole face while we're at it. But it's tacky as well, which is really nice when it comes to a primer. You want it to be somewhat tacky so your foundation can stick on it better. And it smells really fresh. It's got like a hint of like some sort of flower in there, but not so florally. It smells more fresh than anything. My eyebrows may be a bit dark because I did get them tinted, so please don't mind that. We're gonna look a bit off today, but anyway. Alright, so straight after that, moving in with my concealer, and I'll be using my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 10. I love this. It's the best drugstore concealer out there. It's exactly like the NARS concealer that everybody talks about. I am going to buy the NARS concealer actually. I'm really interested in it. I've just never gotten around to grabbing it, and whenever I'm at like Sephora or Mecca, I think it's Sephora, no, it's Mecca that sells NARS as far as I know in Australia. Whenever I go there, I just forget about it because I'm so overwhelmed about everything that's there already, and I've got tons of stuff in my mind that I want to pick up, and it's always so crowded, especially in the city. It's always jam-packed. You can't get into it. I'm just so glad that I'm trying to find a concealer brush. Alright, so to concealer, we're just going in with my Real Techniques 201 brush. Yeah, so I'm just so glad that Parramatta has now come up with, well, not come up, has opened up a Sephora, so at least like some of us girls can, it's a lot more closer, you know. It's a lot like you can go to Parramatta with a car, park your car safely, blah blah blah, you know, shop around and go to Mecca and go to Sephora at the same place, because Mecca and Sephora sell different things. They don't all sell the same thing, and just going to the city was such a hassle. I'd always hate having to order my stuff online because just the wait period is like hell to me. But then when it comes, it's like, oh, presents. But yeah, anyway. So moving along, I'm going to be setting my eyes with the NYX No Filter Sans Filter Finishing Powder in the shade 10 or Classic Tan. And I'm just using my Real Techniques 300 brush for this one. Alright, now moving into my shadows. Where's my palette? I'm in love with this palette. It's the Tarte Cosmetics Love, Trust and Fairy Dust eyeshadow palette. I bought it literally only for the packaging. As you guys can see, it's like shimmery. It's got like little specks and whatever, what do you call these? Sequins in it, and also little stars. So I bought it just for the pure purpose of it being limited edition and for the packaging. Like, it's just so cute. But then I opened it up And when I opened it up, I fell in love with the shades and I thought, oh my god, that is so, like, it's such a fall sort of palette. It's got your highlighter right in the center, and just even like this shade over here, I've used it as a highlighter before, but it's so stunning. It is so buttery, so pigmented. It just glides on really good, and it seriously is a must have, must buy, must try palette, but I'm actually in love with it. So that's the shades over there. And today we're going to be using this shade over here for the base shade. And just going in with a flat top brush. You're gonna see what I mean when I say it's pigmented. The way you can tell if a shade is pigmented is grabbing the lightest shade, or if it's got a white shade in the palette, and swatch it on. If it swatches on like that, it's a perfect shade. It's a perfect palette, sorry. Like, even if the white isn't chalky, like look at that. If the white isn't chalky, if the white glides on like butter, legit butter, then it's a good palette. That's how you know it's a good palette. Like, see? It's so pigmented. I'm in love with it. By the way, if you guys can hear Abby, I'm so sorry. She's just really superstitious about people walking by. She's a very protective dog, so I've got no control over what she feels, so I'm so sorry if you guys hear her. So going in my crease, I'm just going to be using this shade over here. These shades don't have names. Yes, they do. So for my base shade, it was Gossamer, and for my crease or my transition shade, it is Frolic. And using that in a blending brush, that's what it looks like if it focuses. There we go. I love this new lens. I'm just so in love with it. The way it takes photos, oh, I'm so over the moon. I'm so glad I just paid nearly $1,000 for it, but it's so worth it. So as you guys can see, I'm just using that as a transition shade, just buffing it into my crease and on top of my crease, because my eyelid, like my area, is legitimately like a playground. I can take up my crease all the way up the top and my brush has nothing on it barely. So I'll show you on this side more carefully. So I go in my transition shade into my crease, and then when there's nothing on the brush, I take it up, and again, just depending on how pigmented and how dark I want it. I need to get blinds for this room, because I've got my window right there, I've got my ring light there and my 2 studio lights there, my soft boxes, and I think it's just like throwing me off because it's a perfect weather for filming today. It's like overcast and cloudy. It's cool as well, so this room gets really hot, but I think like there's too much light on my face. I kind of want light down here and up here as well, because I've got like I'm just babbling on. Let's get on with the look. Alright, so that's my transition and my crease done. I'm using the same shade for the both of them. And then with the same brush on the outer corner, just want to be going in with this purple shade over here, and the name of that is Whimsical, using the same brush. And we're just going to be buffing this into the crease only. So no taking it up, no taking it anywhere else. Buffing it into the crease and the outer corner. Believe it or not, I'm just going to go to IKEA, by the way. I'm going to be going to IKEA like I'm going to a wedding. But I'm confident and nobody will question you, right? Abby, what are you doing? There we go. So that just gave the look a bit more dimension and a bit more warmth to it rather than looking flat. Abby, what are you doing? Can you just like sleep? I'm scared she's gonna knock over one of the soft boxes down because there's cords everywhere, and I don't want to lock her out because like I just feel bad when she cries. Abby, sit. No, no, don't you dare. You pull that, everything will come on mum. Abby, don't. Just sit down. So moving straight along with the same brush again, I just want to be using, oops, this shade over here, the more brown shade, and the name of the shade is Wonder. And we're just going to be focusing this on the outer corner. So what I'm going to do is pat it in, as you can see. Just keep patting it in till the shade, the pigment comes off your brush. The best brush to use, and I know this is going to sound really bad and most of you guys aren't going to like it, but the best brush to use with these sort of shades, or any shade for that matter, is a like real fur brush, because what the real fur brush does is it picks up a lot more pigment. Now what a synthetic brush does is, which is great for foundation and great for highlighter because it just picks it up, you know, it doesn't sort of soak it in, but this one picks up a lot more and then applies a lot more, so you use less product when you're using a like real fur brush, whereas when you're using a synthetic brush you use a lot more product because it just soaks it in. That's what I've kind of gathered. So as you can see, I just focus that on my outer corner and just in this sort of crease, so it just leaves my inner corner and my mobile lid sort of bare with my base shade only, and then I'm just bringing it up. Now I do want that quite dark so it gives me like a sunken in, it's like a dimension to the look. So saucy. And just to carve out my eyes with whatever's left on my brush, I brought it in here just to give it like a little bit of a contour to the look. I hate it when my eyebrows like are white up here when the eyeshadow is not there, so I do whatever I can to seamlessly blend that in, and then I just like cover it up with highlighter. She's finally laying down. Don't worry if the edges are like disgusting and you look like a complete hot mess, because later on when we add our foundation it looks a lot better, trust me. You can never blend enough, I swear to God, I can just like blend for days. Alright, so on the top of my lid, I want to go in, where is it? I want to go in with this pink shade over here because I'm absolutely in love with it. It is so cute. So that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to change our brush. I want to use, not that one, any flat top detailing brush as you can see. And the name of that shade is Flitter. So pick it up and bounce it in, like you want to press this shade in, okay? I can show you, I'm going to show you, there we go. The more you press it in and sort of give heat to it, the more the shimmers will look like present in a way. If you guys see me look on this side, my monitor's there, so that's what I'm looking at to see if I'm in focus, to see if anything looks off, and this is amazing, my God. Look at that. We didn't do our brows, did we? No, that's alright, we'll do it. And then in my inner corner, I'm just going in with this middle shade over here. I don't know the name because it really doesn't have a name. No, it doesn't. But it's just that center shade right over there in the inner corner and on the high tops of my brow. And I'll just be going in with my Zoeva 231 Luxe Petite brush. The reason why is because this has got such a small sort of tip to it. It's just going to go in my inner corner really well. So I'll show you. Buff it in. For now, that's it there with our shadows, just for now. If we need to touch up the inner corners after putting our foundation on, we will do just that. But moving in straight to my eyebrows, because like I'm the best beauty guru out there and I didn't forget at all, I'm going in with my Benefit Brow in the shade 5. Just this little bad boy over here. As I said, my eyebrows they're tinted, so I don't really need to do much to them except just like add the small sort of finishing touches, define it a lot more. And just fill in my gaps. I think the tint is a bit too dark though. Who else likes their brows as bold as I do? I can't do that feathering stuff like where it's just like model material brows. I mean, I love it, but personally I just can't see myself with that. I think like the brows on my face, really, they're just like a statement on my face, to be honest. They just like define my entire face. I like the girls that are able to pull it off, freaking hallelujah to you because it looks stunning. But when it comes to me, I wish I can just like be like free brows. But no, the girl's gotta go over dramatic with everything. So as you can see, I'm just literally like filling the gaps in. I'm not even just doing anything. I'm literally just filling the gaps in. And that's it. That's all for my brows, to be honest. Just this bit over here. There's always just that one eyebrow that pisses me off. Alright, that's done. Brows are done. Ow, 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 my muscle just spasmed. So moving in straight to my face, I've primed my face, as you guys saw, but I'm going to be color correcting my face because, as you can see, I've got a lot of stuff going on in my face. Like my under eyes are purple. I don't know why. I'm sleeping, I'm eating right, I'm drinking enough water, maybe having a little bit too much coffee, but that's the norm, that's the usual with me, and my body should be used to that right now because it's been, okay, my dad came home. But anyway, moving into it, I'm just going to be using the Australia's Colour Clique CC Concealer in the shade Peach to start off with, and this gets rid of the look of dullness and just brightens up everywhere. So I'm going to be using this underneath my eyes, and see how around my nose I've got like redness. We're going to be covering that with a different colour, but mainly just this underneath my eyes, because I don't know why, but my skin has just been like in whoop-de-doo town at the moment. Then going in with the shade Green and using that on anywhere that sort of has a bit of blemishes, redness, and like looks sort of inflamed. And those areas would be the side of my nose and just like on top of my nose sort of, and over here as well. The corner of my lips mainly, and my chin area. And then going in with the shade Violet, I look like a hot mess. Going in with the shade Violet, I'm just going to be using this on anywhere that has sort of dullness to it. So on my face, that's usually my cheeks. So just here, I don't have pink cheeks at all. I look more yellow than anything lately. Like I said, I don't know why, because I'm eating right, I'm sleeping right. And then blending that in, I look like a hot mess. So just grabbing your beauty blender and blending that all in. And you are going to cover this with foundation, so don't worry if it doesn't blend in or if it looks like white as it is at the moment, but trust me when I say it works. Just trust it out, okay? I never used to believe this, like the color correction. I've always thought it was just like another trend or whatever, but I started doing it and I was like, oh my god, this is such a game changer. Almost instantly at the moment, without no foundation or anything, you can actually see my face is just one complete seamless shade or color, whereas before it had like red, it had dots everywhere, and like the camera doesn't like it. Okay, moving into my foundation. All right, so I'm so sorry if you guys can hear my dad talking, but as you guys saw, he just came home. Moving into my foundation, I'm going to be using my Ride or Die Baby Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Sand. If you guys know of a better foundation than this, please let me know in the comments down below, because this is just my legit, my high-end Ride or Die Baby. I feel as if we haven't primed my face. Well, I haven't. We feel as if I haven't primed my face, but I actually have. Just bringing it down. I do go over my lips, if you guys are wondering. Why? Because it acts like a primer for your lip liner, and I just find that it just sticks during the day a lot better. Getting that double chin. Look at the, I love it so much. And just 2 pumps was enough for my entire face. Then going into my concealer underneath my eyes, I'm just going to be using my Fit Me Again by Maybelline. I'm going to be putting this underneath our eyes. This is the point where you want to sort of shape your eyeshadows. If you did your if you do your makeup the way I did, so when you put in your concealer or your foundation even, this is the point where you want to either sharpen it or leave it smoky. I'm going to be putting a little bit on the tip of my nose and then some on my forehead, like that, and then the tiniest bit on my chin. Now what I do, I blend the bottom bits, right? And I blend it just a tiny bit up there. Then when I come to this area, the brush that you used your concealer with, I sort of define my shadow and get into my inner corner. So yes, it's a bit tedious, but for a good makeup look, I find that this is the best way to go. Just 2 tools. Or if you're like, if you completely have trust and faith in yourself, go ahead with your beauty blender. by all means. Some beauty blenders actually come with like a slanted edge so you guys can get into your inner corner, which is perfect for these sort of looks. It just hit two birds with one stone. But at the moment, I don't have that. Actually, I do. I've got the this diamond beauty blender, but haven't opened it yet. So as you see, I kind of shaped it out, mapped it out. Moving along into my setting powder, and again, just my NYX No Filter setting powder, and I'll be using my BH Cosmetics 124 fluffy brush. It doesn't have what use it's for, but I use this brush for my powders, my face powders. All right, straight into my contouring, and I've been loving the Tarte Tarte Clay Play Face Shaping Palette. I love it. I got it for free at Sephora because they were having like this promotion going on where you buy a palette from Tarte and they give this for free. So I bought the Love, Trust and Fairy Dust eyeshadow palette and they gave this one for free, so I was stoked, as you guys would imagine. So I'm just going to be using the shade, what is it? Desert as my contour, and if need be I'll be using the shade Timber to sort of bronze up my face a lot more, but very lightly. You don't want to go in really dark with this palette, trust me. So I've just popped it in there. As you guys can see, it's picked up this tiniest bit of pigment. Now watch how pigmented this is, right? Look, that was just 2 dabs. What I do is I first bounce it on and off onto my face, carve it out exactly on where I want it to be contoured, and then I go ahead and buff it in sort of like now. And just carving out my temples and my forehead as well. Perfect. Alright, moving in to my nose contour, and just using my natalieeryigit brush, bouncing that off the same shade, and in one stroke going down the bridge of my nose where I want to contour. And the other side. I like to contour my nose upward. I don't like the shape of my nose. Done. Done, done, done. It's that quick. Now using that Timber shade, literally I pounced it on that shade like 2 times, and I'm just going to be buffing this in or patting it in just so it sort of contours out that area. As you guys can see, it's a lot pigmented. Then the other shade, and we're going to be blending that in. Don't worry girl, I got your back. Alright, moving into my baking. Laura Mercier translucent powder. You just can't find anything better than this, okay? Dermablend goes next to it, sort of. I love Dermablend, but like it's a cheaper option than the Laura Mercier. But I mean, if you've got the money and if you've got a passion for makeup, I'd say use the Laura Mercier translucent powder because it's an absolute like winner. Like it just outdoes everything on the market out there. All right. So literally going down. And then grabbing my Real Techniques setting brush, just a little bad boy over here, and grabbing some of that just to re-highlight the underneath of my eyes. So just patting that in. Okay, and letting that set in for the rest of my face while we move along. So for my blush today, I'll just be using my NARS Super Orgasm blush, and it's just like this peachy sort of warm sunset sort of shade. I'm absolutely in love with it. I love NARS blushes, and also their highlighters are to die for. I still haven't gotten what I want to. I want to get I think I've got Opal, I've got Moonstone, I want to get Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop. Jaclyn Hill. And going in with my Real Techniques multitasker brush. Best brush for your blushes. Smiling and patting that in and sort of flicking it back. Just be careful of your bake edge. Perfect. All right, so for my highlighter today, I'm just going in with that center shade over there. Using my Models Prefer 103 highlight and contour brush, just like this one. Watch. I get so excited. And what I do is I go in and see. So I could like go all over that area. So we're glowing whenever the light hits, in whichever direction it hits in. See? I'm gonna blend that in, don't worry, it's not gonna look that harsh. And then with a small detailing brush, just with the one that we used on our inner corner, pop it on the tip of my nose, just like that. And blend it in with your finger, sort of diffuse it. You don't want it to be too harsh. And just my Cupid's bow. So grabbing my MAC 215 or 213 or 214 brush, just like this crease, under blending brush, you know. I'm going to go in with the shade Wonder, the same shade that we used on the outer corner, and just sort of go underneath my eyes with that one. Then grabbing that small detailing brush again and just going in the inner corner once again with the highlighter shade. Perfect, wow. Alright, so using a microfiber, no, a fiber brush, duo fiber brush, I'm going to be wiping out the bake, and also while you're here with this brush, just diffusing that sharp line of the highlighter. So see how it looks like a lot more sort of blended in. Alright, now for my lashes. I'll just be going in with my Maybelline Lash Sensational mascara, and I am going to be putting on falsies, so it doesn't really matter, just one coat is enough. Literally, just like that, just to cover up the like fallout of the shadows or your powder or whatever. And then to set my brows, I'll be using my Essence Make Me Brow Eyebrow Gel Mascara in the shade 02 Brownie Brown. I'm just following the line of your natural brow hairs. This just like sets it in. So I'll just pop my lashes on. Okay, so while that's drying and setting in, I'm going to be squeezing them later on, but I'll just be doing my lips. So for my lip liner, I'll be using the MAC lip liner in the shade Spice. I'm just like lining my lips. And then over the top of that, I'll just be using my NYX Liquid Suede Cream Lipstick in the shade Sandstorm. I love these. Wow, so stunning. So my last step, or my second last step, is just using my mascara again and just going on my lower lash line. And then my last step is using my Baby Girl, my All Nighter by Urban Decay, and just spraying her all over my face. It just ensures that my shadows stay on all day long and all night long, if all night is what you girls are going for. Alright, so that's it. So that's it there for the complete makeup look. I am in love with the two palettes that I used for my face today, and I'm genuinely like in love with every single shade and every single product I use. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to give it a like, don't forget to share it with your friends and family, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel and my Instagram. It'll be all linked down below. I upload every 3 days, so I'll see you guys in the next 3 days. Bye.